Yeah, on my Instagram.
Oh, here we are. Hello, boys and girls.
Alright.
Everything going here. All right.
So, what's on the table here? That looks like a Kessel's, or that looks like a Kashyyyk system.
Yeah, sure does. That's strange. He's got an oh, it's Dagobah. He's playing Mind What You Have Learned.
Oh,
Yep. So
okay.
set your course versus Mind What You Have Learned. Set your course starting. You cannot hide forever. Mob points and the sack
Nice.
combo effect. There is no try and oppressive enforcement.
Yep.
Light side's got battle plan, wise advice, which is the sense shield. Also adds one to his training draws, and those other cards got a bit
Yeah,
of glare on them.
I can't see what the middle one is. I
I
presume
think
the one on the far
the one in the
left.
middle actually looks like the heading for the medical frigate to me,
Oh,
and the one on the edge is
yeah.
the one I can't recognize.
Yeah, I was gonna say one of them's a starting interrupt, but
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think the middle.
Yeah, so it's battle plan, medical frigate, wise advice, and I mean it's got to be the way of things. I would have to imagine would be his third card. I can't imagine you'd start anything else if you're actually trying to train here.
I'm real low. Well, let's see if I can fix that. What if I just bring the mic down? How's that, guys? Is that any better? You'll have to tell me. If it's not, then I can do some further stuff to try to fix it.
All right, so we've started turn one here. Dark side, Matt goes and pulls a Death Star location, getting his Twix out, get the generation going.
Yep.
So, trying to.
Now, do we think he's just playing SYCFA as a platform?
That's what I'm wondering. I mean, the Mayu Moneth definitely.
Yeah.
That's a throwback play, man. Haven't seen that card in
What
years.
is that card?
So you spend X Force to reveal their hand. I think any male and
and
males are lost.
rebel,
Might just be male characters. I forget the exact wording.
Yeah.
Actually,
That's
I can
actually
grab an assistive device here to look these sort of things up. But yeah, so you got to spend force equal to the cards in their hand.
right.
So a good defense against it is just drawing a big old hand. Of course, then you're vulnerable to Monarch.
Yeah. I guess that third effect would depend on if Morgan is also if he's using Mind What You Learn as a platform or if he's actually training.
Yeah, he might not actually be training.
I mean, if he's starting Wise Advice, it seems like it would be likely he's training.
Yeah, oftentimes you'll just go to 2 or 3. Oh, he's got a handful of sites. He's definitely training. I see
like
test.
there's certainly a training site in there which you would not be playing.
I mean, I see test 2 in his hand, so he's at least going that far. It could just be going to 3. But yeah, there is the swamp, I believe.
Yeah,
that's the jungle.
Test of 3 makes sense.
Yeah, there's the swamp and the training area. See if he goes in the deck for the hut, or the system pulls the hut.
I did play around with the Little Mind, which you learned in the retro event. That was the premiere Death Star 2. I haven't played any premiere reflections to know if Mind What You Learned is still good. Although I think it is.
Well, I feel like it's going to be a lot better off in a format like this than in the current format.
Sure. Yes. I would sooner play Mind What You've Learned in this format than in Open. That's certainly the case. Although Morgan really leaving value on the table, not playing the oversized Mind What You Learned objective. So,
Yeah, unique male rebels and unique male aliens are what Mayu Monith targets.
Are lost?
Lost, yeah.
Okay. That could be a big deal if he's training, or like if he's leaning on Luke and Han. Like,
well, at least Yoda's immune.
that's true. Although we would kind of hope that Yoda's not in his hand anyway, right? Really wants him to be in the deck.
Yeah, you are correct about that. Although it's much more important the apprentice is in the deck, especially if you're using Daughter Skywalker.
Yeah.
Which I saw a Luke's lightsaber.
Although I think rules change wise, you can still deploy Daughter of Skywalker and make her the apprentice, even if she's not in deck.
Oh, did they change that rule?
Yeah, I think it was a rules change thing. That's why like the Daughter of Skywalker V got blanked and changed to being something completely different because it was no longer necessary to do all of that.
Didn't realize that.
Yeah, I think it was that rules got changed so that was how that worked now, instead of having had that weird thing where Daughter can be put in hand, or it can be put like on the bottom of reserve or whatever. Because I saw Daughter of Skywalker just there. What are we using? 3/4 to deploy Yoda with the objective.
Yep, and then searching again with the objective, likely for his apprentice, and giving us a nice look at his deck here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so almost certainly Daughter.
Yeah. Home One, Akbar, Force Levitation, or Yoda's Hope, rather. Yoda's Hope.
Oh, okay, yeah, there you go. Adds 1 to training. It's very strange. I saw Luke's lightsaber in his hand, then I saw Luke with lightsaber in his deck.
We actually saw that out of the
Feels
Watch Your
weird to me.
Step deck the last
Running
round
both.
too, to running the EPP Luke and the Jedi Luke. My thought, and I didn't confirm this with the players, but my thought is that it's just matchup dependent. Like certain matchups, you would want the Jedi Luke, particularly
Yeah, bring him before me.
Yeah.
It comes to mind in particular, yeah.
Yeah. But then, like, you have the Luke lightsaber just in case. Sometimes you draw him and play into the home one docking bay or whatever and move him around. But other times you just want the EPP. Alright. So, Morgan certainly got a lot of, if not all, those activation out.
I wonder if this is some kind of Brangus deck or something that Matt's playing.
Yeah. I haven't gotten a good look at his hand to see. So Morgan just draws up the rest of his force power.
So he's getting a boatload of force here with the +3 from staging areas. So 1, 2, 3, 8. Counting 14 for him. Although I do see the Whack-A-Mole on table now, I believe. So it could be a ties thing as well.
Oh, the additional
Sinar.
Yeah.
So there he spends, look like about 8 force on Mayum. Gets to check out his hand.
That's a
There
daughter.
goes Luke, there goes Luke, there goes
Obi.
Obi. Oh
Wow,
man, that is
was,
painful. Yeah, it was 8 force, but that took 3 cards out of his hand.
That seemed worth it.
Yeah, I'd pay that 8 force. And not only that, now he has knowledge of his hand.
Yeah.
He knows.
Well, his knowledge is saying he knows that he's not going to do.
Yeah,
he's not going to be doing anything next turn.
Exactly. He can drop a tie, a lone tie at the system, and
So he's
have no fear.
Bay. That would certainly
Yeah,
suggest
it's definitely a Brangus thing. But like I said, we got the Whack-A-Mole out there as well. That is Whack-A-Mole, right? Next to Alderaan.
I can't tell.
Almost certain that's the system.
I think it is. I think
that
it
takes
is.
Sinar. I mean, he would have pulled it with Mob points anyways, so it has to be.
It's hard to tell location-wise because Alderaan is like 2 and Dagobah is 9, so that could be anything between them. But yeah, I would agree with you. I think it's probably, Lenny agrees with you too in the chat. It's probably the Sinar Fleet Systems system.
Yeah, so
he
might not be doing the ties.
Mara, he's got.
I saw a Janus.
Hard to see, but
reactor terminal, first strike.
And it's just gonna draw
lateral damage.
lateral damage.
That's a Barkwin Dan. There's his
Brangus,
and a Fatten Slave 1 gets him into space. And I saw a sight there. I didn't catch what it was. But so basically, he just spent 8 on Mayum and drew a few cards for that turn. Passes it back to Morgan.
That's not a bad turn. He did cause 3 force loss with that 8 force usage, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, and cleaned his opponent's hand and out of threats.
Yeah.
So I mean,
all Morgan can really do this turn is
he's just going to drop his daughter. It's pretty unfortunate. I don't think he had the force to do it last turn, or maybe if she was stuck in the force pile.
I think I actually think he picked up his force pile by accident in there, and there was a daughter on the bottom, as I recall. But
yeah, usually training wants to get that test 1 down turn 1 so you can get it going as fast as possible. He's getting a pretty slow start here.
The non-virtual Wakimu is a 1-0, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, I think though that
I don't think he's running ties. I think it's just a location he pulls with
mostly,
Mo points for activation.
Yeah, mostly I was thinking, I don't think Mind True Learn actually has enough force to get test 1 on turn 1 against this deck.
Yeah.
Because they're only getting 2 from Darkside.
You're right, yeah.
So they'll only have 5.
You probably couldn't afford it, even if he had drawn perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah, like one of the distinctions between open and the retro formats is like, in open, your opponent's going to pull a bunch of their locations on turn 1.
Yeah, it's a much slower game.
Yeah, so a lot of times you actually will have 6 force to play both of them on turn 1 if they're both still in deck, but
yeah, we're not used to this environment.
Yeah. On the other hand, he's certainly got more time to be able to play his stuff out and not have to worry about that. Looks like Matt has a rules question about the daughter? This might actually be the thing that
I
we were
think this
just
is the
talking
question
about.
we were talking about, yeah,
Yeah.
because the daughter did come from hand.
Um,
So,
Now, I hate to fall back on this, but certainly on GEMP it works. That if you play daughter, even if not from the objective, when you play the test, you can still target her with. You can still target her, and then once you do, MWYHL targets her instead of Luke.
just take a quick peek at the.
Yoda non-V is 5, not 4. Yeah, I think you're correct on that. But it should be -2 from the objective. Yeah, Lenny, I think I think you're right. I think it was a rules change a couple years back. I only heard about that rules change fairly recently, but that it was explained to me. It's like this is why Daughter of Skywalker V, before the most recent set errata, was mostly worthless. Oh, only Yoda is -2 from the objective. Okay, sure. So it would be 7 Force then to play a 5 deploy Yoda and then a 4 deploy Daughter of Skywalker.
Sounds right.
Yeah. See, a lot of the dark side decks aren't going to give you the 5 Force or 4 Force that you need to deploy all that in turn.
Yeah, not in this format. Yeah. I believe we're still waiting on the ruling here.
Yeah, I think we're waiting on the ruling. I mean, certainly if it's ruled against Morgan, I can't imagine that this game is going to go anywhere for him because.
Oh yeah, that's going to be. I mean, that's going to be pretty brutal.
Yeah, without being able to train and then also having lost 2 Lukes, so you can't even like back up that and try that instead. Not that I think, given the way his deck is constructed, that he'd be able to win if he had to choose forced to train Luke, and also just had Leia on Dagobah for no reason.
I mean, it's going to depend how his deck's constructed, and I mean, Matt's not really threatening any damage at all right now, so I think we're in for a bit of a long game here. It's gonna.
Yeah.
Matt's going to have to start applying some pressure.
Yeah.
There goes the medical
putting
frigate
the-
into the lost pile.
in the right place. Yeah, Lenny, I wasn't really thinking the ruling was gonna go badly for him, but it looks like we're kind of back to it now. He's going into his deck probably from the objective. That looks like a Luke's backpack.
Yep, the backpack. So with the foresights, the backpack, wise advice, Yoda's hope, we're adding.
Makes a top level action.
Sorry, 5 sights.
Yeah, it was something along those lines.
Adding 8 to the draws.
Now I kind of wonder what pressure Matt's going to put on him now, because if he doesn't, I mean, if he gives him enough time to just do a bunch of tests.
Yeah, it's.
I don't. Oh, that's Great Warrior. That's test 1. What is the card that he put on table then?
Well, he played the backpack and test 1 is all I saw.
Right, he just put test 1 on the site.
Yep.
What's the card that's over by the starting effects?
That's his objective.
Oh, right. That makes sense. That's what they were picking up. Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
they were picking up the objective and daughter.
All right. So now he's just drew a bunch of cards.
Yep. So he moves over to set up for the test next turn in the control phase, and Matt's activating. Oh, we got another 8, 9,
3, 4, 5,
looks like 13 again for Matt.
8, 9.
Not going to spend on Mayum this turn. He's dropping the Cantina, it looks like. So here's the pressure we're talking about.
And Janice.
4 for Janice. And looks like he's going to go to...
He's going to use Janice.
Oh, using Janice, right. Doing some cycling.
Janice is another good reason to... Another good tool in this platform. You
yeah,
pick up your Death Star side.
Always love that text, yeah. And there goes Barquin, who's a lot like Figurin, but he only draws 2, and I think he adds 1 to his draw. And you compare it to the opponent's. If yours is higher, you get to retrieve 1 in your control phase at the cost of a force. And Brangus comes down to join the stack of schmoops at the docking bay.
That are a combined power like 5?
I think it might just be power 3 there. Or the Brangus gets a bonus at the docking bay, I believe. I think he's power +2.
So Matt's got a full hand. Morgan did draw a couple of cards on his last turn.
Oh, no, power +2 at Cantina. So yeah, I think each one of those guys is literally power 1. Fortunately, he takes no battle damage.
Sure.
All right, so Morgan's activating. I'm sure we'll see an attempt on the test here. Should be pretty easy with all the bonuses he has.
Yeah, 5 from the site, 1 from Yoda, 1 from each of the cards under daughter.
Exactly,
And
plus
1
her
from Wise
ability
Advice.
and plus 5 sights. I mean,
I think
he's
you
adding.
actually can't not.
Yeah, I don't think he can miss it.
I think even a 0, or no, I guess a 0 would be would not be greater than 13. But he drew not locations, so he did it.
Yeah, so Great Warrior requires greater than 12. Yeah,
Oh, okay,
and
so
by
yeah,
my
then
count, he's
even a
adding.
0 would be.
I think he's adding 13 right now by my count.
All right. So test 1's completed. We have begun.
And so that is no drain bonuses.
Yeah, doesn't seem like that is. Well, it's certainly not going to impact things currently because we're just draining 2 at the cantina.
Yeah, definitely no effect
Straight
in the
up.
current situation. But if Emperor were to come down, it would turn off
Sure.
Janice's bonus. He gives drain +1 with the Emperor.
Morgan showing the Jedi test he just picked up with the training area.
Mm-hmm. And test 2 is the one you got to chase it around.
Yeah.
And so the thing with test 2 is the opponent doesn't want to leave test 2 on the jungle. So I imagine that's where Morgan's going to deploy it, is on the jungle. And if Matt's smart, he will actually move it at the start of, or whenever he's able to move it, he will move it away from the jungle so that Morgan can't drop test 3, auto-complete it, and then drop test 4 in the same turn.
Oh, but Morgan's just in his move phase now. I wonder if he forgot to pick up the test 2 on Matt's
Oh yeah,
turn.
he didn't drop the test.
I think he may have forgotten to pick up the test on Matt's turn because the training area works on both
Right,
turns.
right. You can do it when you don't have a force pile. So I wonder if that's what he's
So I
digging
think
for now
he's
is
trying
his
to draw
test
for
2,
test
man.
2. Yeah, that's
Rough for Morgan. He's
unfortunate
really
that's what he.
oh, a stone pile. That card's mean.
All right, and then he stops there. Okay, all right.
Yep. No look. Also, Matt's getting 15 now from the Cantina he dropped last turn.
Lots of force for everybody in this game now.
We did see battle order from Morgan at the start of the game. We can't really see it now because it's in the glare, but I do believe battle order,
Yeah.
battle plan rather, is on table.
So Matt's reading the objective, I think, because he drew control set for stun. So I think he's evaluating tracking around a 6 to set for stun Daughter of Skywalker.
Mm.
Is she the apprentice?
Yes. Making Jar Jar the Apprentice in Premiere Reflections 2 would be a truly ambitious play, Dan. I don't. Yeah, Sean, I think we think that the Way of Things is one of the 3 effects. We think that Morgan's 3 effects were Battle Plan, the Way of Things, and Wise Advice.
Yeah, we never actually saw the third one, but I can't imagine it's anything except for the Way of Things.
Yeah, it's hard to see.
So he
it from...
does have some ties in there, so maybe he is doing a little bit of Sinar action. I see a squadron.
Okay.
This is the Barkwin Dan draw is what we're drawing for right now. So both players draw 2. Matt gets to add 1 for each gambler present.
The Way of Things Apprentice is immune to set percent. Okay, I wonder if Matt knows that. It's the kind of thing that I assume he at one point knew, but maybe doesn't remember in the moment.
So Coward and Reactor Terminal come down. So even if Morgan wins the wager with Barkwin now, he's not going to retrieve anything
Yeah.
until he gets on some battlegrounds.
Yeah, and getting onto Battlegrounds is not going to be especially easy.
Not a lot to choose from.
No. I mean, there's some appeal to going to the Death Star and just carving up those guys, but
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it wouldn't be a hard task.
Judge call with show and tell.
So we'll see if Matt plays anything else here, if he wants to back up his Janice, or
you can go to space potentially.
there's nowhere really to go in space. I was kind of surprised by the
Yeah,
fact he
that's
pulled
true. There's no-
Wackelmoy instead of
there's no-
Carita or whatever the other not battleground system that you're able to pull Rendaily.
All right, Lenny. True sign of a newer player needing to read Reactor Terminal. Look, I had certainly never played with Reactor Terminal or Traffic Control until the retro event. I think. I actually think or no, I did. I did play Traffic Control in the Mind What You Learn in that deck. So
I don't know about you guys, but I got the best three.
All right, so Matt picks up to a pretty sizable hand there.
yeah. What is that?
That was a dangerous time.
Ooh, okay.
And a dangerous time. Oh, that's right. It lets you reorder the cards in the opponent's force pile as a used Destiny 3 interrupt. You get to look at their force pile, put them whatever order you want to.
It looked like there was a Monarch in Matt's hand also.
There's a card that was played a lot in like heavy manipulation decks back in the day.
Yeah.
Well, build us with this.
Especially
fine.
with my Umonith, you can really starve your opponent of characters if you reorder his force pile to put, the characters on top and the force he has to spend to, move his characters around for the Jedi tests and pay to force drain, those kind of things. You can just totally brick your opponent's hand.
Yeah, I was thinking the reverse too. That if you're like setting up a draw or a first strike beatdown, you can.
He's holding a Monarch as well, so you can put the doubles together.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the day, Reactor Terminal and Traffic Control were 100% staples of my gameplay as well.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I liked it in the Mind What You Learn that I played in the retro event. I never played with it before that.
So Morgan drops a stone pile here. Only thing that might really hurt Matt, I feel like, would be if he managed to snag if he's got a battleground system in his hand and managed to take that away from him. Could be really painful. Maybe one of his big characters, but a docking bay maybe. I feel like there's not too many things that are really going to ruin him here to get stone piled.
Yeah, I mean, his hand, he has so much in his hand now. And then he has Janice going to dig for more things. Nothing in Lost Pile?
It's interesting.
I think he must have won the Barkman Dan draw to retrieve his starting interrupt.
I wonder if Morgan made a mistake here putting test 2 where he put it, because now Matt's going to be able to move it at the start of the move phase away from Daughter of Skywalker, and she's only got land speed of 2, so she's actually not going to be able to complete the test next turn if Matt moves that one.
Yeah. And then he'll be able to trap her at like the training site on turn 3.
Yeah, and then she's going to have to get all the way back to the jungle to do test 3.
Yeah, it's test 4 that's on the swamp, I believe.
Swamp 4 goes on the swamp or the bog clearing, as I recall.
Yeah, that seems like not the place that.
Yeah, usually you don't run both those sites. Often you don't see Mind What You Learn with 5 sites. I think you don't need all 5. You can drop either the swamp or the bog clearing.
Well, I was gonna say that seems like one of the worst places that test 2 could probably have gone.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, usually you want to try and get it on. The trick is to get it on the jungle if you can.
Yeah.
So like I said, you can do 2 tests in one turn with the way of things.
Yeah, from the limited bit that I played Mind What You Learn, that's certainly how we've always done the testing to 3 is.
Morgan's thinking about his turn. Looks like he's asking about power at Matt's location, so we might be seeing some interaction finally here this game. Aside from Barkwin Dan's friendly wagering.
Mind What You've Learned testing on... Mind What You've Learned finally interacting on turn 4 sounds about right. That's...
Yeah, so we see a Han with blaster pistol come down to the cantina for 4. See if he's got he adds with Luke or Chewie.
That looks like an Obi-Wan.
But nope, we got Obi instead.
So I guess the stone pile to hopefully grab a Gick?
Yeah, that would be really brutal if that was the one he got. I didn't see a Gick in his hand, though. What's he playing here? Spending a force.
I don't see
Does he have a barrier?
I don't see one.
Yeah, maybe the bear. Oh, no, he's
he
just
is
using Janus.
Okay.
I didn't see much in his hand that's going to help him in this battle. He might be eating some damage here,
I mean,
because
the white-bordered interrupt, I think, was a Gick. It might have been the Monarch.
I think it was a
though.
Monarch. So, yeah, I didn't see much to help Matt out in this battle.
It did look like it was a draw or a first strike in his hand. For
Yeah, he's got a first
counterweight,
strike, but yeah, that's not doing much here.
no.
So, I mean, we're looking at 9 power to 2, and I would be shocked if Janus didn't end up hit forfeit 0 by the end of this battle.
Yeah, it seems pretty likely.
So, I mean, Matt's already down 7. So, unless he draws perfect, he's definitely going to be taking some damage here. Morgan's still weighing his options.
Oh, I think Matt. Matt is second.
It's handy having these player cams. Yeah. I'm not used to these. Could actually see when they get up and walk away.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Dan was saying they were trying to have it angled to be a hand cam.
Oh, wow, look at
couldn't
that.
Quite get it right.
So he misses on the shot. I believe he drew a home 1, but he did play a slight weapons malfunction to add a Battle Destiny. And there's enough to hit him with the lightsaber. That was a 5 and a first officer, Thanesby, to go aboard the home 1 we just saw drawn. So yeah, Brangus is hit, and then we got a 5 and a 1 for Battle Destiny on Morgan's side, and Brangus is a 3, so that's going to be 5 power for Matt and 15 for Morgan. Difference of 10.
That's a big peel.
Yeah, and we'll see if there's something we missed and Matt's got a gick or something, but I think he might just be taking one on the nose here.
Yeah. I mean, he pulled the dangerous time to the front. Sure looks
Yeah,
like
I didn't see anything in that hand.
Lose.
Yeah. That's a tough one. Yeah, I do wonder what that stone pile grabbed, because we didn't get a good look at his hand after he drew all those cards on his last turn. And you do wonder if there was a barrier or a gick or something in there.
Extra Brangus, Monarch, dangerous time, I think.
Yeah, dangerous time's probably not
He's
something worth hanging on to. Yep.
The force
peeling his destiny draws.
Bottom, which looks like a Death Star Assault Squadron.
It is a Death Star Assault Squadron. Pullable with the objective.
Yep. Vader, just peels 10.
And he's going to have access to these cards. He's got Brangus down. He's got Docking Bays in his hand. So if he really needs any of this stuff, it can always come back. And there, yep, Matt sure is enough. Moves the test out of range of Daughter.
Yep.
And so she chases it as far as she's able to.
Yeah, sounds like. I mean, that's true. It certainly has to feel good for Morgan to catch up a little bit and cause that overflow. I mean, I know Matt has Mara in hand, so he's at least got that to come back with.
Okay, so test 2 does have to deploy on an unoccupied site, so Morgan had to play it there.
Okay,
it wasn't a misplay on his part. He just kind of got himself in a bad situation.
He's reading the way of things down.
So there is the way of things.
He
yep.
can't. Yep.
Well, glad he knew that.
Tactical mistake arranging the sites in that way, though. Yes, Lenny. I would actually say that the bigger tactical mistake was moving Daughter.
Yeah,
to
that's
the jungle
what I was
going to
say. The same thing. Yeah, I think you just shouldn't have moved
yeah,
Daughter.
just leave the jungle.
And then you can drop test 2 on the jungle. Yeah.
And then you at least put Darkseid in the spot of, well, are they going to move the test? They should, but that saves you a force because they have to.
And a lot of unknowing players will not move that test. And
to try to not save the force.
Yeah. If you're not familiar with how the things work, if you're not familiar with the way of things.
Yeah. Or how bad test 3 is for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, test 3 is brutal.
All right. But Matt certainly has some options here now.
Yeah, we'll see. He's got to do something about this Obi. I'm sure he doesn't like Obi being parked at his cantina. So, I mean, he could Brangus, pick up that Vader out of the lost pile.
I mean, the Mara in hand is certainly enough. If you, like...
Well, I mean, remember this is an EPP Mara. She's got to download her lightsaber.
But it doesn't matter. I mean...
Yeah, right. The draw will still clear him.
Immune, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Jabba would work just as well if... Just need a draw, really. But
why did he move Leia anyway? Well, I mean, if he's going to play test 2, he has to try to complete it, right? So Having now played it, he's got to move. He's got to move daughter over to try to get to it.
No, I think Lenny is asking about the turn before, and I don't know the answer to that. I can't think of any reason he would have separated the two on that turn.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no, I'm following with you now, Lenny. I do not know the answer to that. Well,
Maybe he didn't realize it only deployed on unoccupied sites. I had to look that up too.
Could be, yeah.
Because the card wasn't in his hand when he moved her. He drew it in his draw phase after he moved her, so it could have just been a mistake.
Yeah, so he may well have been aware that he wants to deploy it on the jungle, but didn't realize the implication of moving her to there.
Exactly, yeah. Might have been trying to get himself set up and then shot. When he drew the card, realized he actually shot himself in the foot.
Yeah.
Figuratively speaking.
Yeah. So it does look like Matt has a number of characters in his hand. I think
he's got a few options here, but he's definitely thinking about it.
Evaluating what
he's got enough force. He could go with two guys. Like I said, you could check in the reserve deck. Some good destinies in there.
2 red cards.
Yeah, they're both 6s actually. It was a masterful move and put all sections on alert. So he's got 2 6s in deck, but the Vader doesn't become an option now. Because you don't have enough for Battle Destiny. But
he doesn't have enough to swing in.
IG-88 and Dengar become a lot more interesting, though, because they can still hit him or capture him with that 6.
He does have...
Save the other one for Battle Destiny.
So 5. It's going to be...
They get a power bonus at the Cantina. Yeah, I think this is the way to go, actually. I'd go Dengar and Mara Jade, I think. Hit him with Dengar and draw that 6. Yeah, and then you've got... What's Dengar 3, 4 from the Cantina. Mara Jade is 4 + 1, 5 from the Cantina. So he's got 8.
Looks like a Sinar Fleet Systems. I'm realizing the card that I thought was Draw Their Fire, I think is actually or First Strike either. Actually,
he's got
First
both.
Strike. Okay.
Yeah. So Sinar comes down, First Strike comes down. First Strike is going to stop Morgan from doing anything this battle. Look, I don't see a force pile.
Nope.
So right now Matt's got, what did we say, 9 power plus the 6, so he's on 15. Definitely going to hit Obi, because,
definitely drawing a
test
6.
3 is not complete, so he can't subtract, and he's not going to be able to interrupt to subtract with Draw Their Fire, so.
He's using Brangus here. I think he's using Brangus here. That makes sense, to pick up the top card and then retrieve the 4 with the First Strike. Or retrieve the Docking Bay.
Oh, yep, definitely good call.
Yeah, this actually looks like his counter beat might be
he's
the same.
Morgan's going to be peeling some cards here for sure. I don't know if it'll be 10. It's going to depend on his draw, of course.
Yeah. I mean, as Lenny pointed out, it is 9 to 5 plus a 6 for a known 6 for Battle Destiny against 0 forfeit.
Exactly. So Morgan is, I think what it comes down to is Morgan's going to be losing 10 minus his Destiny draw.
Yeah. Yeah, so very unlikely to be actual 10 overflow. Although he did have to peel 1 for First Strike, so.
And he does hit Mara, so
that'll clear.
Unless he draws a 0, Matt's also going to be cleared off the location.
Yeah. That is not a location. What is that?
5 overflow for Morgan by my calculations.
Is that a Path of Least Resistance?
It looks like an Insight.
Okay, Insight, sure. That makes more sense.
Yeah, which is pretty handy because you start it against like Hunt Down and things, and then pitch it right away to pull your honor.
Yeah.
And he drops his location to the overflow.
And then a clash, and it could be worse, and a signal. All right. So we've kind of pulled pretty close back to...
Oh, and Matt picks up his system finally. I feel like that's going to help him out a lot.
I feel like we pulled pretty, I don't know if Matt was actually down after that battle, but now after the counter beat, I think we're back to where...
I think we're pretty even in life force. I think Morgan was up a little bit in life force, but just in terms of board control, Matt was ahead.
Matt's put a lot on the table.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cards on Dagobah as well.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so Morgan's, I believe this might be his turn 4, maybe 5. Activating. Still not going to be able to attempt that test 2. Feels bad.
That is our only hope. Is
That's
that?
Wars Not Make One Great
Wars
is
Not
what
Make One
that
Great,
is.
okay.
+1 to initiate force drains in battles. Cancel if opponent controls the location. Another stone pile comes down. It's an irritating card to play against, but being restricted to only 2 copies, we know this is the last one we'll see.
Yeah.
Matt just giving his hand a good shuffle here and telling Morgan to do your worst.
Yeah, so it makes sense to put them on the correct stone piles.
Yeah, got to keep them separate because they can be altered.
Yeah.
You're adding 4 to the draw, but it could be altered. Oh, he just goes straight to his move phase. At the beginning of the move phase, Matt's able to move the test, and then Morgan moves daughter after to finally.
Yeah.
Man, that's so, because now test 3 is going to be clear across on the jungle. He's got to go all the way back there.
Yeah, full 2 turns to put it back.
Might be finishing test 5 on turn 10.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is a test of 5 all the way. Or
Yeah,
just
we
a
don't
test of
actually know
3.
that. He could just be 3.
My assumption would be that it's a test of 3. That's most common, I think.
Yeah. I wonder if Morgan just didn't have any characters in his hand there, because, I mean, the site's empty. I would have liked to have seen him take some initiative and go down there. If you
Yeah.
can safely. I mean, you don't want to subject yourself to a counter beat, but it looks like Matt's going to space this turn, and Life Force is getting low. Matt's got his whole pile activated.
So we got Emperor
so-
of Cantina,
Yep.
and then looks like probably a ship, I would assume.
Yeah, I would imagine he'd probably drop Boba Fett to the system as well.
It's like only 5.
Oh, no, the
Emperor's
ties. The Emperor's Shield, I believe that is.
Oh, so he gets to retrieve.
And then retrieve 3 with
Sign
Sign-R.
systems.
Yep. I was sitting here like, why didn't he pull secret plans? But, of course, there
Yes.
are no shields. Oh, and that leaves that Vader sitting on top. Wonder if he'll...
He drew into the.
yeah, and he picked up a
Death Star
docking bay, so yeah, he's definitely going to take that Vader right into hand. I would do the same.
He does have a put all sections on alert, I believe, in hand already. So he's probably going to wait for that.
I don't think he's even got 2 docking bays in the lost pile, though.
Oh, yeah, so he just drew his second docking bay
Yeah.
into hand now, so he's probably going to wait until he has the opportunity to use that for something.
But we did see
Well,
Morgan draw some ships in his hand last turn, so I have to imagine he's going to be coming down to Kashyyyk,
Yeah.
because the shield doesn't even draw.
Well,
or the
and
sword, whichever that is. Let me
Put all
look it up.
sections on alert picks up any card with Death Star on title, right? So he can pick up the Death Star Assault Squadron and the docking bay.
Let's check it out. I'll look it up real quick. Put all sections on alert. Retrieve into hand up to 2 cards with Death Star in title. So yeah, you're right. He could retrieve the Death Star Assault Squadron into hand with that.
So we
Instead of a
are
second docking bay.
completing the test because you drew a 5.
Yeah,
That's
test 2 is
that's
complete.
The force is strong with this one, right?
The force is strong with this one. Yep. Counterpart of I Have You Now, and that looks like a foil Lando and Falcon is the other card he drew.
All right. So we completed test 2. So ability 6 required to draw Battle Destiny.
I mean, the shield didn't even have the 4.
Yeah.
But yeah,
The other React Squadron is also ability 3, though, right? So
They're
they would
both
still,
3,
they would
yeah.
still be able to draw if he has that, which doesn't seem especially unlikely.
so that is the Emperor's Shield.
Yeah.
Which has a bunch of text. None of it makes any difference right now.
Yeah. It's red leader and gold leader in ship.
Yep, the old
The
squadron
the
leaders
intro
coming
pack
down.
combo.
Those guys are pricey too. The non-virtual ones, I think they're 6 for red leader and 5 for gold leader.
That sounds right.
But this is going to work out really well for Morgan because, as we said, Matt doesn't even get a draw.
Oh,
One of them gets
barriered,
barriered,
one of
but
them.
the other guy's still getting through.
I mean, they don't draw on. Do they draw on their own?
Yeah, they both draw on their own.
Oh, they both draw on their own,
draw
okay.
La Flama 2 otherwise.
Okay.
That's part of the reason they were so good, even
Yeah.
at that price or that cost back in the day.
Yeah. I mean, the Emperor's Shield, though, oh no, it's flagship operations that adds to forfeit, right? So
I mean, it is a forfeit 6 ship,
yeah,
so
so he's still probably not going to get overflowed too much here, but he has to lose. He does have to lose to his own first strike, which is slightly awkward, but
yeah, the old double-edged
I mean
sword.
he has a ship in hand, so
Yeah, he's still got Boba Fett and Slave 1. However, he's going to be pretty outpowered because Morgan's not losing either of his ships.
yeah. Draws Thanespi, I think.
First Officer, Thanespi, Destiny 3, if I remember
He
correctly.
I don't actually think he can do that. He just put the Emperor's Shield used. With
Yeah,
Center
you
Fleet
you are
Systems.
correct. That cannot be relocated to used pile.
Yeah, because Center Fleet System says when
It
a tie is
relocates
lost.
one tie.
Yeah.
It cannot relocate a squadron. You are correct about that.
So
So that was a misplay, but I don't think we're active judging.
no.
Well, on to Matt's turn again. I'm guessing we'll see pay 3, drain 2.
Yeah. So we know. Did he keep 2 cards back? I think he did, right? 2
Looks
cards
like
in
2
reserve?
cards in reserve,
So you know it's
yeah.
barrier and then whatever he spent to pay for barrier.
Correct, yep.
Now the leaderships are expensive, but not terribly high in forfeit, as I recall. But I think gold leaders look
Yeah,
like
they
5.
they each forfeit for 1 less than they deploy for, so gold leader
Okay,
is
so
5-4, red
okay.
leader is 6-5.
So the known 4 on top won't be enough. So he would need.
He'd need to
second
draw. He'd need to
destiny.
flip a 6 to clear both those ships,
Yeah.
which would be pretty good for him if he could pull that off. That would definitely be
Yeah.
worth throwing your Boba Fett at that.
He's going to deactivate 1, which is going to put the Emperor's Shield on top. He's going to Barquin Dan. Okay.
Yep, you're correct. There's the shield and the barrier. However, Morgan wins that wager, but he can't retrieve because of coward,
Yep.
as Matt Carulli points out. Looks like Matt's pitching some cards back with the old reactor terminal.
Some red cards to put back here.
Looked like he threw back a second reactor terminal with the first one.
I wonder if he does just put all sections on alert for the Death Star Assault Squadron and then just battle.
I also wonder if he's got all-powered weapons in this deck, because that plus all-powered weapons would be that's a nice combo. It's pricey. I mean, that assault squadron, I think it's like 12 force or something.
That sounds right.
Maybe it's 10.
I mean, with the put all sections on alert, you don't even need the. I mean, put all weapon, all power to weapons would add 6 power, so that's.
Yeah, I didn't see it in his hand, though. I'm wondering if it's even in his deck.
Yeah.
But he does come down with the Slave 1.
Yep.
I wonder if he knows something we don't about that last card in his deck. He did draw some 6s earlier. He could be tracking one of them.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
So he battles, retrieves the 6 with the first strike.
Draw their fire, first strike, whichever it is.
Yeah.
And Morgan Peel's launching the assault from hand.
And then draws.
He does have a 6. Nice. That's going to clear both those ships. Oof, and the 3 is not going to break Fett's immunity. Matt might have to peel a couple cards to keep Fett alive here. Let's see. It's going to be 4 and 5 and 9, right? 14 to Fett's 7, I think.
7 power and 6 should be 13.
Yeah, so he might lose 1 card to keep Fett on table here.
That seems well worth it.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Especially since he has the Death Star document in hand. Great Barquin play in that case. Yeah, I mean, it seems to me that based on that line of play, Matt certainly knew what his 3 cards were in that order.
Yeah, he 100% knew that 6 was there, I feel like. It was definitely a card we'd seen before.
Yeah, and must have realized he couldn't activate down all the way to it.
So he didn't lose any force here. Maybe I miscalculated on those powers. I thought Morgan had him by 1. I was counting. 12. Oh, no, Morgan only had 12, yeah. 12 to 13, yeah, we're good. I miscounted. No force loss required. I think Matt actually even won the battle.
So Matt looks like just drew some.
That is a good point by Lenny. I don't know if Matt was actually able to activate enough to get to that 6, so what he did instead was activate one less and then burn the top 2 cards with Barkwind to get down to the 6, which I agree is a very heads-up play by Matt. Nice comment by Lenny there. All right, so Morgan's activated. I imagine we'll see test 3 coming down, although, as I said, it's going to take him a while to get back across Dagobah. Daughter of Skywalker is just running laps around the planet. Oh, here we go. Some action coming down. We got EPP Luke, EPP Han. That's a lightsaber swing, a blaster shot, and Han adds the Destiny with Luke or Chewie.
Yeah. I mean, the trouble spot here, how much force did Matt save?
It doesn't look like he's got much in his reserve. He can't have that much.
Well, because he's been holding that control Sapphire Stone the whole game.
Matt, Morgan.
Yeah,
okay.
and he's got the 6 on top that he drew for Battle Destiny there.
Mm-hmm.
So he could get into this battle and
really turn things around. Yeah,
and set for Stun Luke. If he doesn't get hit, like...
If he's got the force to pay for it, that force pile does look a little thin.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
He could just have him. He could have him very neatly stacked. Actually, from the side view, he might have a couple cards there.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose worst case scenario, he's drawing a 6 for Battle Destiny. So that's like not, could be worse than that.
So we got a lightsaber swing there. It looks like. Oh no, he only had the 2 cards to draw for. So no lightsaber swing, just 2 cards on Destiny. Are both 5s, and Matt does indeed draw his 6 again. So it's Matt's power 10 to Morgan's power 19. So
he's
Emperor
down 9, which
is immune,
exactly.
but Emperor will cover the battle damage. So I think we probably see him.
I mean, he's got Vader in hand, here. So.
Yeah, and that 6 is right where he wants it again now too, right at the bottom of his deck for the counterattack. So I think we might be seeing Morgan lose some more cards next turn.
Yeah, and then Morgan's got to move, so he's got to bury
so Daughter
the 5s.
continues her marathon.
I mean, as I recall, Empire Strikes Back, Luke had to do a bunch of laps around Dagobah to just do his
just
stuff
like
also,
the
right?
movies.
So this is fine. This is perfectly thematic. That's a put all sections on alert to pick up the Death Star Assault
Squadron and the docking bay.
And then, is Brangus once on your turn?
I believe it's once per turn. You can just exchange a docking bay with the top card.
Yeah, so I wonder why he didn't do that already. I guess he maybe just wants to retrieve the 6 with the first strike.
Once per turn on Brangus.
Yeah, he must just want to retrieve the 6 with first strike. Because he's just going to drop Vader.
Yeah, I mean, getting the 6 in your hand doesn't do anything for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine we're going to see at least Vader come down here.
Well, yeah, a known 6 for Battle Destiny.
Yeah, I mean, if you got the Force, I'd throw Jabba or just Dengar, Iggy, somebody just for some extra power. Because I mean,
looks like 11 Force saved, I think. 4, 5, 6. That's Vader.
Yep, so there's the Vader, and Morgan's got no Force pile, so you know Hujix is a non-factor here. All your damage is going to be going through.
Yeah.
So yeah, this could be
look
really
like he
painful.
Drained... Oh, there's battle plan. Never mind.
Yeah, he didn't. I think he'd rather spend the Force in this battle. He's going to get a lot more damage that way.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's got like 8 left after that. Jeez.
So 5 is going to be Mara or Jabba or Iggy. Mara
makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's got the most power. Her and Iggy are the same.
2 to battle. Why did he spend 2?
War's not make one great still over there on Dagobah.
Right. Yep, I forgot about that.
Has Matt lost yet?
No. Then, yeah, retrieves the 6.
Oh, misses the swing. Bummer. So Luke's going to have his forfeit value.
Yeah.
Maybe he should have just paid the drain.
He's swinging back.
Can he
now.
still outpower him? If he draws low, he
He
actually
should.
still might.
Swing at Vader.
Yeah, definitely. No, Mara you swing at because Vader doesn't have immunity.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, no, actually,
And
I
also-
forgot that this Mara has immunity.
And also, Force Field can't protect Mara. If he even has a Force Field. But yeah,
What's
there's
that,
the
3
6 we
again?
knew was there, and the 3 is good enough to clear Vader. So Luke's an 8. Vader and Mara are 11 with the Cantina, plus the 6, 17. So a difference of 9. So yeah, I think Morgan has to peel about 2 cards here.
Appeal at the Nesby that you keep drawing that doesn't
Balanced
do
attack and control.
And then
Oh,
there's
3
Nesby.
cards. 4 cards. But did I miscount that badly? Or did Luke get hit?
I don't think
Why did he
Luke
lose
got
so many
hit.
cards?
Because I think I'm getting confused because I usually see Center Fleet Systems in Flagship Ops deck. Center Fleet Systems only has the retrieval, right? It doesn't have the Destiny bonus.
Yeah,
and the
it's
Force bonus
just
is all on
retrieval and
Flagship
put
Ops.
him in use pile.
Okay.
Anyways, Morgan lost that battle, took a couple overflow.
Yeah.
Matt draws a few to empty his force pile and
Yeah.
says the
Lenny
force
makes a
is
good
with
point.
you.
He's been satisfying Battle Plan this whole time because he's had the docking bay.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I think he just forgot to drain for
Yeah,
one.
brain fart on our part.
Well, also his, I think, because I don't think he drained for one.
If he did, I didn't see it happen.
Yeah. Maybe it was another Han. Oh, it costs 1 to drain. Okay, yes, that makes sense. That even, yes.
Yeah, it's still going to
War's
cost
not making
1.
great. War's not making great. Still a thing. Still a thing.
All right, Morgan
I'm wondering.
going straight to his move phase here.
I mean, it's the sort of situation here where Matt's way ahead,
Mm-hmm.
but I kind of don't know if he's gonna win on time. Like he's drawn a lot.
Yeah,
of
the life
cards, and
force,
both their life force counts are really low.
Yeah, it's hard. I do wonder actually what the life force count is.
Because he's just like not doing that much damage right now. I know Morgan's tested to 3, 2, 3, 4.
But I feel like Morgan's just running out of options as well. I mean, he's got his tests done, but he didn't do anything last turn. What's he going to do next turn? Matt's just going to reinforce.
17. So Matt's got 17 down.
I'm going to run in there and check on the life force real quick.
Okay. Looks like Matt's got 17 down and 9 in hand is my count. Alright, so Matt is going to pay to drain for 1 now. Loses a card from hand. I can't tell what card that is. And then he will place You Cannot Hide Forever out of play in loss to try to pick up an effect, and reveals the 2 cards in deck, which are a 6 and a 5, I think. And then he's going to use Brock Van Dan to retrieve the effect. So he's trying to just increase his he's just trying to increase his life force count right now, which would make sense given what we were just talking about, certainly. Did you get Morgan's count?
I didn't get an exact number, but Morgan's definitely under 10 cards, and
Oh,
Matt's
okay.
got about double that. It's not as
Yeah.
close as it looks at
No,
all.
no, we're fine then.
I think we'll probably see Morgan concede pretty soon.
Yeah, because Matt just used Insight to put it in loss and then retrieved it with Brock Van Dan. And now he's just deployed Mighty Java and EPP Dengar to the Cantina.
Taking his Cantina
drawing
back,
a couple
yep.
of cards. Yeah, so he's putting the onus on Morgan to try to make something happen with a fairly low life force count here and known very high destinies on top of... Or actually, no, the high destinies are on the bottom 4 of Matt's deck right now. But it's still setting up for a very significant counterbeat. Hey, it's test 4.
Hey, he's going to 5. Look at that.
I don't think he's gonna get there. It's taking a little too long. Too much running. Yeah, he's just gonna move. Yeah. Yeah, it's too late in the game, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he has to pay to move. Yep. Yeah, it's too late in the game, I think, to be.
Yeah,
having to do
he's
this.
just got too few cards left. I mean, he's got some stuff in his hand now. He's got a home 1 and a bunch of pilots, but I don't believe he has the force to deploy it.
Yeah, home one's too expensive now.
And he's gonna eat a 4 more damage right here.
Yeah.
And Matt's just gonna fix his hand up a little better with Brangus or whatever. And
I mean, I think he has a squadron in hand, so he can retrieve 3.
yeah, he's just gonna reinforce his position. And
Yeah, Lenny's right. Even if he gets there, he's gonna have to occupy 2 battlegrounds first. Otherwise, Coward will stop the retrieval from flipping. And
yeah,
won't even matter.
yeah, I'm not seeing a way out for Morgan here. Even if he had more cards.
Yeah, I mean, the couple of it was like a couple of small missteps, or
Yeah, just some awkwardness with the testing early really
Yeah.
set him behind.
just it cost him so many turns. On
Like,
that.
for instance, if he had test 3 in that battle in space with Boba Fett, he subtracts 1 from that 6, and now he's only losing red leader, and gold leader's still there. And there goes
he's using
Mayum eating his
Mayum,
hand.
eating 3 characters.
That's
again.
gonna be the nail in the coffin.
Ugh.
And on top of that, now he's got to lose 2 drains of 2.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks like Matt's thinking if he wants to spend the 1 force for it. I don't know why he wouldn't.
Yeah, I can't imagine why you. I mean, I guess if you just want to win on time instead of straight winning, I don't know why that.
Yeah, so
matter.
Morgan's got to peel 4 more here.
Oh, it's 1 and 2. Why did we think it was 2 and 2?
Oh, right, test 1 turns off the bonus at Kashyyyk, of course, so it's only 3 damage.
Oh, it was Kashyyyk. That's why. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I couldn't tell what it was. It was something 2-1, but Kashyyyk certainly makes the most sense. I mean, he can even if he was really caring about diff, he can just deploy the squadron and retrieve 3. Yeah.
Definitely, no reason not to. And he puts it at Alderaan to up his damage potential next turn in case Morgan doesn't scoop.
Yeah.
He's just going to be draining for a couple more.
Well, 1 more because the.
Is it not? Yeah, it's not +1. You're
well,
right.
the bonus is still canceled.
Oh, right. Oh, he changes it up and goes to Guacamole instead.
Yeah, because he realized he can't really drain there anyway. Or no,
You could drain
there's
for
something
1.
up with. He's pointing at something on the text of Alderaan, but.
Well, he doesn't have any icons for starters.
Oh yeah,
might be the
that's
reason you can't
probably the
deploy
reason. Yeah, you can't deploy to Alderaan because. Yeah.
I mean, it barely matters at this point, but I feel like I would maybe put the squadron at Kashyyyk and then move Fett to Alderaan. Although Fett doesn't have the hyperspeed, it's. Oh no, he does. 6 to 4. 6 to 2 is 4. Yeah.
Yeah, he should be able to get there. All right, so we complete test 4.
Hey, look at that. He can spend 2 to take a card in hand in control phase.
Yeah, spend 2 to take a card in hand from reserve during. So that doesn't seem like that's ever going to come up. He does have test 5 in hand.
Yeah, test 5's coming down.
So he might get to complete test 5, but
That
it's not going to matter. I don't think.
you attempted at in your control phase, I thought.
No,
Was it end of your turn?
Test 5 is you triggered at the start of your turn and then at the
That's
end
what I
of the
thought.
next turn.
Yeah, it takes,
so it's like
takes
2
a whole
full
turn
turns,
cycle. Yeah.
You got to stand in your head for a long time to make that happen.
The hell is test 5?
I realized that
Future,
the whiteboarded location that I was saying was Death Star Dock Bay, I think is actually a Wampa Cave as it's sitting on top of his lost pile now and I'm looking at it. Yeah, test 5 is obnoxious.
Yeah, so you attempt at the beginning of your control phase, you turn them upside down, and at the end of your next turn, you finally complete it.
Yeah. So, looks like that is a
Yep,
drain
there's
house.
the handshake, yep.
What did we lose? It was
Simalu, Bosk,
2 red cards.
a grabber and lateral
apparently.
damage, yep.
Okay.
Well, that was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah. I think Matt kind of showed off what the Set Your Course platform can.
Yeah, Brangus
do
is a
here.
really cool deck, and you get lots of options. Yeah, it's definitely my kind of deck.
All right. So I think
It's fun seeing these old cards that haven't seen the light of day in years come back out. Mayumonith and Barkwin Dan and all the good stuff.
took 6 cards out of Morgan's.
Yeah, Mayumonith.
That was
Like there's no way Janice sits there at the at the cantina by himself those first couple turns when he's got Obi and Luke in his hand like
Yeah.
that. My Yamana set that whole thing up.
Yeah, yeah. All right, guys. I'm going to put the hold screen up here, and we will come back as soon as we've got game 4 for you. So stay tuned. Oh, and thank you for the Prime subscription. Sir, you didn't put enough vowels in your name for me to
Sir
pronounce
Birdford.
it. Sir Birdford. Yeah, we'll go with that. All right, we'll be back
I like
in
the
a bit.
name.